Hello, hello, hello. So thirsty. All right. Thank you for joining. I see one person's here so far, but I know there will be more. So this really is an important topic for me today. And what I'm doing now is just pulling up Facebook to see if I am streaming in Facebook as well. Facebook decided to get rid of everyone's ability to stream from a different app. So I'm just going to check real quick, just in case I'm able to see the comments that come in from there. All right. So, this topic holds so much importance, dear to my heart. Nope, it's not showing that. It's okay. They'll have to click the link to join in. And hi, Tatiana. Um, thank you for coming. Okay. Uh, where do I begin with this? Where do I begin with this? I have a very soft spot, soft heart when it comes to twin flames and this particular connection. Okay. And I see, well, I have the wonderful opportunity for being able to be a voice in this, right? To be a voice in this community. Hi, Alonzo. Thanks for coming. And to see this connection from a perspective of healing, growth, evolution, transformation, all this kind of stuff, right? Seeing this connection as two people who went through a bubble phase. If I close my eyes, it's because I'm really feeling this. From the bottom of my heart, I chose this topic. It came to me literally not too long ago. I always let the topics come to me, but it came to me and I was like, okay, all right, I'm going to discuss this. Hi, Renee. Okay. So if I close my eyes, it's because I'm really, really feeling this. I'm really feeling the heaviness that goes with this connection. I'm feeling, not that I'm absorbing, I'm feeling the pain that is experienced by so many on this journey. The so called waiting, wondering, okay, universe, when is it our turn now? There's some twin flames that come together and they get to experience these changes that you're going through. They get to experience it together wherever you are in the journey. I notice a lot of what's happening goes on whether you're in physical contact or if you are distant from each other. If you follow any of the readings and it all seems to resonate, I've noticed it really doesn't even matter where you are in the journey. It's like you're experiencing as part of the collective, right? And things like that. Like, a couple can be together and they're experiencing an awakening about the connection while they're together, or at a distance and they're experiencing an awakening of the connection. It's all that oneness. So there is that heaviness that, can we get it right? Are we able to get it right? When is it going to happen? I want my turn to make it right, to do it right. I've been doing all this healing, I've been watching all these videos. I want to be able to experience this connection. And why is it not here? Why is it not forthcoming? Why am I still in this particular position when I'm ready to move forward? All right. So I know many of you have that question. I know I certainly had that question myself, and the universe stirred up these questions within me because I at one point was doing fine, felt fine on his journey until the universe stepped in and stirred everything up. So I truly know this experience. Okay. And so, where do I begin? So many different places with this connection to begin. Okay. So, this is a connection of your journey, of you. Okay. This connection or this journey is a journey of you. You might be like, okay, well, what about this person? No, 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 no. Let's move away from this whole separation idea. Okay. We point fingers outside of us so much. Not that I'm saying pointing fingers in a blame way, like this person, that one, this one, this one, this one, this, you know, not like that. Not in a harsh way. I mean, like looking at it and saying, why hasn't this person come forward? Why is my twin flame taking so long? Why are they? It's just all of this outside of ourselves and looking at this person without truly, truly acknowledging, and hopefully I'm using the right words. Sometimes I'm not the best with my words, acknowledging that there is somewhere within ourselves where we don't feel totally ready, right? If this is you. If it's you and you know it 100%, yes, I know it. I claim it. I'm here for it 100% of the way. I'm not changing my mind. I'm staying firm. I'm grounded in this. I know. Then this is not for you. You can certainly stay tuned. I just saw Alonzo's word tune right when I was about to say tune. Stay along, follow along. You can certainly learn something from this, right? And so without acknowledging, it's like looking at the connection, wondering about this person without acknowledging within ourselves where we still have some sort of fear around the connection. There's still some amount of rejection going on internally. This person had rejected me, they left me, some sort of belief that's still hanging around there. Um, Hiding from ourselves, hiding from our feelings, not trusting our intuition, all of this stuff, all of this. And we're just like, where is this person? Okay. So, what I've come to learn, this was actually a realization I had recently. And it was one of these aha moments. I'm constantly learning, constantly gaining new information, and I share it with you. And I certainly share it with my clients as well. We go into it deeper. And this realization is, many twin flames did not actually have a relationship with their twin flame partner, okay, their person. There are many who have, and if you have, well, you don't fall under this one. But most people meet someone, go through a bubble love phase, and almost like that, the phase seems to fizzle off and becomes a distant memory. Like, did that really happen? I felt something. I felt a connection. I felt like this is the one for me, and it vanished like in thin air, and it makes me feel like I imagined it. Did I imagine this? And that kind of stuff. That's what most people experience on this journey, okay? Is that feeling. And then in the aha moment, I was just like, you know what? Wow. Perhaps there is a reason why. Not perhaps, they're telling me there is. A reason why it happened this way. Okay? When we meet our twin flames for the first time, and you can let me know. You can comment. I'm going to read the comments soon. I love reading you guys stuff, right? Your questions and comments and things like those. When we meet our twin flames, it is usually when we are in a wounded place of some sort, right? Okay. Either many of us were possibly coming out of a narcissistic relationship. Maybe the person wasn't narcissistic, but the connection wasn't really there. Something was really off. I feel like if it's twin flame, you were probably with a narcissistic person, okay? Maybe it's not true, but the way this journey is like it puts you through the ringer is what I'm hearing. In they're telling me the ringer, it puts you through some stuff, through some pain. You're in this connection with someone, and again, it may not resonate with all of you, but with a lot of twin flames. And in that connection, you lost yourself. You're like, what on earth just happened? I want to figure out myself. And then you meet your twin flame and you're like, there I am. They show you you. They show you you at your highest version. Everything that you wanted to have, shows up in this person. They get you like no one else. And the connection just feels so easy. And it's like the two of you just always known each other. It's just that easy, right? This comes up, you discover this, and then just like that, fear kicks in, and boom, you each go your own way. There's a reason, okay? This is what I'm believing, that it happens this way is because you were not yet in your most authentic, truest version, was still having fear, worries, doubt, not yet trusting your intuition. And with this connection, it needs all of that from you. Okay. And so, where am I going at with this? Maybe some of you know, maybe you know. I don't want to call it separation. That healing phase protects the connection. Okay. I've been doing this work for a while, and and going through my own experiences that helped with a lot of the knowledge I had gained within myself, and was able to see it in my clients as well. Okay, this might relate to you. I'm going to give an example to help you understand why this healing phase happened. And it was protection in a way for your connection, because at that time, neither one of you were showing up in your most authentic, truest version. Okay. And so, have you had a situation with someone, perhaps a friend? Usually it's with a friend. I wouldn't say a family member, but maybe, where you didn't feel like you can speak up to this person. Either the person was very triggered by the things you say. They were highly negative. If you say something, they'll tell you the opposite. That's not true. They You felt like your ideas, your thoughts were put down by them. What else? You needed to be a certain way to make them feel happy and all this kind of stuff. And because of that, you wind up hiding a part of yourself out of some sort of fear of not interrupting that connection. It's like, I can't seem to speak up with this person. They just don't seem to understand, or something like that. I tried to speak up and it seemed like it didn't go anywhere. So I'm not gonna try. Maybe you probably had this with your ex. You probably had this with your ex, but this could be like a friendship. This could be a friendship that you admire. And you're like, I don't want to give up this friendship, but I feel like I can't show up as the most authentic, fullest version of myself. And so you kind of stay back, you stay quiet if this is you. Eventually, what happens, because you're not your truest version of yourself, your true self wants to come out. Okay? Your true self it can't stay in hiding. There's a point where it's like you start to feel like, I can't take this anymore. I really can't take this anymore. But because that connection was built off of the version of yourself who's not the truest to you, you held back your emotions, you held back your feelings, you didn't want to talk about them, you were too afraid to, maybe you're walking on eggshells, all this kind of stuff. When your true self comes out, it no longer can tolerate that connection, because it was built off of something that wasn't real. Okay, that wasn't you. I see this happen all the time. Perhaps this had happened to you, where that connection, you're just like, spirits are telling you it's time to move on, it's time to move on, it's time to let go. And you're just like, I don't know, I can't really let go. And then you come to the point where you see that this is true. Okay, if you know what I'm talking about, please comment on that down below. I hear this stuff all the time. And whenever this happens, when someone is like, I don't feel like that connection was meant to be fixed, like for me to speak up. I'm like, you know what? I honor your feelings. But take this as a lesson that in your next connection, and this includes your twin flame, that you're going to show up as the most authentic version of yourself, your truest self. Okay? If you build a connection off of something that's not real, you're not real. You're feeling a certain way, you're holding your feelings in, you can't talk about it because, God forbid, they leave you and that kind of stuff. They move on to someone else. So you're going to stay quiet, and a part of you just starts to build resentment in some kind of way because there is a part of you that's saying, speak up. And you're like, I can't. Okay. If you're showing up in your twin flame connection this way, guess what will happen when your true self wants to appear? Doesn't feel the same anymore. Okay. This is the kind of stuff that happens with twin flames who were married for a long time, for a while, because there are twin flames who were married, you know. Some of you are like, do twin flames actually come together? There are some married. There's some married right now. And both people weren't being honest, weren't showing themselves, were too nervous, too worried, had fears. You know, what if they leave me and all this kind of stuff. So it prevented them from really letting themselves be seen, like, hey, I don't feel okay right now. You know, something doesn't feel right. Instead of communicating that, it's more like, I'm going to put on a smile and act like it's okay. Maybe one twin will be okay with that for a while, but then the other one winds up leaving that connection. And it's like, oh my goodness, what happened? They weren't themselves. You weren't yourself. I'm going to tell you this right now. For this connection to happen, to continue on a long term, you got to be you. You got to be you. And I know if that feels scary, you know, if I show myself, are they going to reject me? All of this kind of stuff. This is a fear of connection. And this is something that needs your attention to heal. You know, there's so many aspects of healing. Like you see a lot of stuff talk about just balance your energy. Just simply do that. Okay. Well, we can get into that one too. That's a part of it. All you gotta do is just this, and that's it. And so we feel like, okay, all we got, okay, let me just do this. But why is it not working? Okay, I'm in balance. Where are they? I don't know if they really will come. Like, all right, can I really let them into my life? It's the little voice that's talking to you that perhaps you're overlooking. If this is you and you're just like, bring me my person, that little voice is there, you know, it's not going to go away. And your twin shows you your subconscious thoughts. They reveal it to you. This is why the mirror technique is so effective in healing your connection. You know, you heard it from me. Some of you might be like, I don't know. They call it mirror technique, mirror exercise, and all this kind of stuff. I don't know if I can believe all of that. Well, you hear it from me. The mirror technique helps so much because your twin flame shows you your subconscious thoughts, and then we'll get into that some more. I'm going to take a break and read some of these comments here. uh Tune in the perfect timing. I'm glad. And I was waiting and wondering for years. Now that I'm healing even more, I'm not sure if it's been limerence this whole time. I'm not even attracted to my twin flame videos anymore, to the twin flame videos anymore. Good. Good. You know, you're here. I'm giving you useful information. If ever you were to be like, I'm not, Sheen, I'm not watching your stuff anymore, I'm totally fine with that. I'm totally okay with it. I'm here to carry my mission to connect and educate and all this kind of stuff. And I'm certainly happy to do this work. If I'm one of those, don't worry about it. And so I've had people say that. They're like, don't take offense. I'm like, oh, no problem, no worries. Because then it helps you to shift even more within yourself. And I have people that say your videos is one of the only ones that I will watch, which is fine too. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. if this is you. And so let's talk about limerence. Okay. Limerence. I'm going to give you an example of what I feel limerence is and how it's different on this journey. It does happen to some, okay? Not most. What you feel is a strong pull towards the person, a strong, and that pull is not your imagination. Perhaps they're so much into within themselves that's pulling you towards them, and now you're the one who's at the I can't stop this obsessive thinking, I can't, all this kind of stuff, there is an energy in the connection as well that brings the two of you closer together. Even if one person is trying to fight it, this energy is like, I don't think so. The universe is like, I definitely don't think so. Because as you know, there's signs, synchronicities, messages, dreams, there's all kinds of stuff, seeing this person's name everywhere, repeated numbers, you name it. The universe is like, I definitely want to make sure you're not going anywhere while you wait for this connection to unfold. And so all these are natural occurrences. Even the obsessive thinking, there's a reason for it. Okay. The obsessive thinking pushes you to want to heal that. Like, I want my life. I want to, whatever it is that you say when you are in that, all of this ties in with the journey. All of this ties in. This is why one person, you may find similar stories with one person to the next. It's like, wow, I went through that. I went through that. I went through that. All normal. Limerence. Now, I'm not a psychologist or a therapist. Um, my sessions can feel like those, but I am not a trained one to explain to you in their way and their terminology. But from what I've seen, limerence happens when there is a complete loss of self and everything is put into this person. Everything. It's like one who experiences limerence doesn't truly know who they are, what they want in life, what is what's something they're interested in, uh having plans and goals in the future, because all this person sees is this other person. And this other person, it could be twin flame, it could be anyone else. It's not a twin flame thing, as it's limerence, it's not tied with twin flame. All they see is that this person is going to bring them everything. This person is put up on a really high pedestal and can't do any wrong, even if this person is doing them wrong after wrong after wrong. It's like, I just want this person. Okay. It's painting this illusion that this person is somewhat of God. We all have God in us. But what I'm referring to is like the all. Okay. This to me is the definition of limerence. All right. And it's a detachment from oneself. Okay. Trauma will do that. Trauma will, and trauma has done that with a lot of us, where we have some sort of, we're disassociated from ourselves somewhat. If it's not you, again, it's not you. But in this case, it's almost like a complete disassociation to where there is the loss of self. Okay. So that's what I have noticed. And it's not, I don't typically see this on this journey. All right. And yep, so true. Boom. I'm currently done with tarot twin flame stuff. I've learned a lot. It's empowering. All right. So for some of you, if you're still on it, I read tarot, and for me, it's one of those things that I call it divine messages. Okay, where you're either receiving messages through a video you're watching on your timeline, a stranger on the street happened to say something that resonates with you, you feel called towards a reading. in some kind of way, even if you're not into it. With the tarot reading is when it's obsessive. It's like a constant being outside of yourself. What do I need to hear today? And if you are in that state, and I'm not saying that you are, Tatiana, I actually really applaud you for this. It shows something. All right. So if you're in that state where there's a constant reading, I got to hear it. I went through it. Lots of us, we went through it. I had a reader I followed on point with everything. I was like, wow, this one's talented. And I'm not undermining my talent too either. And that kind of stuff. This reader was just like, wow. And I was actually guided to listen to so many back to back to back to back to back readings of hers so that it painted a picture of what happened in the past. You've heard my past before. That was extremely painful for myself and my twin. So the spirits wanted me to have an idea of it and stuff like that. This was in the past. As you are healing and you're elevating, certain things no longer feel comfortable to you. Okay. And this does include tarot reading. And what is that? I'm not saying it's low vibrational. No, it just no longer resonates. It's the energy around it. And I feel like there is a particular time and season for it. There is a new wave of people coming into that space of constantly listening to tarot readings. And this is going to make it, and I'm usually referring to the divine masculine readings, okay? Not just a one time read, like, let me pull some cards for you kind of thing, but more like the divine masculine readings that can become addictive and that kind of stuff. So this is what I find: when your energy is rising, it just doesn't feel in alignment. And that's what it sounds like for you right now, Tatiana. Is like it doesn't resonate. It played a purpose at one point, and it did. It's all of this part of the journey. All of this part of the journey. How is it that so many people on the twin flame journey can say, I was listening to lots of tarot reading? I hear it all the time, all the time. It's one of these things, you're just like, you go through these phases. And so, very true, says Alonso. I let go and got my heart activated. I'm in my power inner union. That's awesome. I feel that's what's going on with her. I know that related to something I had said. I was guided to contact my twin flame last week after no contact for a year, and he happened to be in town because he lives out of state. We spent the whole evening together, but now no contact. Uh, this is a whole nother video. I've got to remember this. I don't have pen and paper right now. Oh, actually, no, I did find new contact after making contact. I gotta make a video on this. All right. So, in a quick note about this, is when you come into physical contact with your twin flame, this is a moment of balancing your energy. Okay. It is, how do I describe it? The slower the interaction grows, and again, it's different for everyone. Take what resonates with you. Your soul will tell you everything. The ability to move this slowly will help to keep your energy in balance, and the connection grows. And now, I'm not saying you did anything wrong. Again, go with your intuition. This is just my awareness. When there is a lot of time spent at the beginning, and this isn't just twin flame related. I'll paint a picture of how it's not twin flame. when there is so much time spent, it brings the energy out of balance. It in some kind of way. It brings your energy out of balance. Perhaps some fear-based and situation occurs in you and your twin. And now it's like, oh boy, I need some time to process this. Okay. And especially being a divine masculine, I'm hearing a divine masculine, when there's so much energy that's exerted, retracts and regroups. This is the energy. This isn't the person. This is how the energy works. Okay. If there's so much at one time, it's like, all right, I got to take a step back and regroup. Okay. Slow is better. Just letting you know so that when he comes back, you mentioned the whole evening together. Again, go with your intuition. I'm just sharing with you what I know about this. And now I want to make it less twin flame related. It's like when we meet someone new comes into our lives, and we're like, yay, I have this friend, and we spend all this time together. Then it's that throws the energy off too. Or if we meet someone and we put so much trust in that person without even knowing, getting to know them, that throws the energy off too. And especially when we're like, I just trust you so much, and then it creates some sort of shift in the person, and they feel like they're on some sort of pedestal that feels kind of odd, and they don't want to be in that pedestal. And so the mind, because this is the mind, it's not the person, goes into, I got to do something to like calibrate this, to make this like kind of, and then you start seeing their flaws and seeing, you're just like, wait a second, what happened to that person? Okay. Slow is better. And by your twin flame pulling back, this is not a sign that he's gone. It's not. Our mind will go into, oh my goodness, they left, I'm not good enough, nothing's working. You know, the mind likes to create these stories, and then it prolongs this distance. Come back within. Come back within, be of balance, trust, and let it unfold on its own. Okay? Let it be in the unfolding. All right, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for the response. You're welcome, Crystal. On another note, I haven't spoken to my twin, or they haven't spoken to me in almost a year now, but I'm going on vacation to see my cousins where they live. I might see him. I'm not sure if I'm ready though. Okay. Get ready. Get ready. All right. I could say so much on this, but I like for your intuition to let you know more. And sometimes people are like, Isheen, I want to ask a question, but you're going to tell me to go into my intuition. Yes. Okay. But I'll ask you this: why don't you feel ready? There is something in there. This is showing you something. Okay. Something for healing. Is it fear? Uh, is there a certain fear you're not aware of that you have? Okay, sometimes we have fear of connection because all we've ever known our whole life was is that connection is unsafe, is you know, the people who say they love you, they hurt you, and all this kind of stuff. Is that popping up? What are they going to think about me? Am I going to get rejected? Like, what, why do you feel like you're not sure you're ready? It's telling you something. Okay. When it comes to this connection, because this is the title of it, right? How to improve your connection with your twin is to be ready. And this isn't something you can talk yourself into. Like, none of this stuff, if anyone makes it seem like you can just simply talk yourself into all of this, I, what's the saying? Beg to differ. I do. Mm-mm. We have a lot of programming inside of us that plays out in this connection. We go into this connection the same way we will with a soulmate, thinking everything's going to work out, even though it did not work out with a soulmate. We think it will with a twin flame. It cannot. It won't. Never work with a soulmate. It's not going to work with a twin flame. The programming that we have going on, right? Got to be ready to experience this connection. This doesn't mean that you have to be 100% ready, because your twin will come in when the time's right. They're gonna come in. There's no way around it. Like you can be like, oh my god, I messed it up. Well, guess what? I got a phone call. We got to get out of I control when this happens. It just happens. And well, you're in balance in some kind of way. And then when your twin flame shows up, it's still this energy balancing that goes on. Okay. it, that's still there. All right, so I kind of got off track with myself there. Oh yes, it needs for you to be ready. And why is that? Is because your twin shows you your subconscious thoughts. So anytime that you're just like, oh, excuse me, I don't know if this can work. I don't know if, guess what? Guess who else is thinking the same way? Okay, gotta be ready. And if you have a running energy, I call it the running energy. It's like when the going gets tough, you're like, I'm out of here. Or I don't know if I can continue. I'm just gonna call it quits and all this kind of stuff. We have it in us, even though, or had, if you've healed from it, even though we point at the other person and say they're the one that's running and that kind of stuff. So if you have a running tendency, you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out of in connection, you're just like, I don't know, I'm just gonna put a toe into this connection instead of my whole body. It's not even getting my foot, just a toe. In case something goes wrong, the exit is right there. You can't have a connection that way. Okay? What you get in return is the mirror of that. A toe is in there waiting for the door to open, for an opportunity to open a door. Got to be ready. You definitely do. And does ready mean not having fear? Absolutely not. I don't believe fear totally goes away. And this is the thing the universe taught me, is your ego plays a part in all of this too. Like, go figure, who knew? We thought we can't be an ego at all, right? I came to learn that the things that exist within your ego consciousness, so to say, comes up as blocks. A block gets released whenever you're like, I'm terrified, or they're going to. This is an energetic block, not just twin flame related, can be with anything else in life. I don't know if money is going to show up. I'm terrified. This is coming from ego, but it is a block that's coming up. We have these blocks that, or whatever you want to call it, resistance. We have some level of resistance because of the experiences that we've had early on in life. And it comes up through ego. And when you listen to what your ego is telling you, you can heal it and break it down. Doesn't mean being with your twin flame, there's never going to be a moment where your ego is going to be like, oh my goodness. As you move into the next phase of your connection, whatever is not in alignment is going to come out. When you have awareness of this, you're going to say, okay, I surrender to this. My ego is telling me something. Instead of being reactive and saying, I've had enough, I'm done, I don't know, I've had all these moments. So I will tell you, I'm going to make a post out of it. You guys will get to see the post because, like, this journey, and I shake my head because of the universe. So, I'm telling you, my spiritual team would look at me and I don't even know if they're laughing at me. When I think about it, I'm like, maybe they were laughing at me, where I would be like, everything of the ego is something of ego comes out. I get really put through the ringer because when you're moving into the next phase, and I'm not, trying to manifest it for you, I'm just sharing with you what happened. You're like, I'm ready for this next phase in my life. I'm ready to elevate, go to new heights. I'm ready for this. And the universe is like, oh, okay, all right, all right. Whatever kept you here, you're trying to go here, what kept you here, we got to get rid of it. And so you go through this intense emotional moment. You're just like, what on earth? I share this with you so you don't go into, I'm done with this, but instead go through, I am releasing. right now. Or if your person is going through it, or anyone you know in your family who's like, they're sobbing and you're like, like everything just got me beat down. Like I don't know. And that kind of stuff. This is ego. Okay? It's being processed. You take a step back, especially if this you've seen this with your twin flame, take a step back and say, they're processing resistance that's coming out, their emotions. Okay? I don't have to react. I don't have to have an answer for this. I don't have to try to help this person. I can take a step back and allow them to go through their moment of releasing and processing pain. And when they're able to have a conversation about, you can talk about it. Is everything okay? Would you like to talk about it? Or maybe for you, all right, when you're in a moment where you can talk, because the ego is gonna say, go away, leave me alone, don't talk to me, don't say, oh, you're giving me advice, I don't want it. The ego is really strong when it's in that really strong thing, and it's not going to hear a word you say, or you may not hear a word someone says, because you're in that space. You're like, I'm in that space, I want to be in that space right now. Okay, I just want to be in that space. But later you may reach that point where you're just like, all right, I just went through this, and you talk about it. All right, so let's see. On another note, wait, did I read this? Yes, I did. Can you be both a soulmate and a twin flame? Absolutely. I truly believe that. You may see things that say no, but yes, anyone that comes into our life really is a soulmate of some sort, someone who has some significance with us. We might even run into a soulmate and feel a connection with someone, with a stranger, and we're like, why am I connected with you? It's because of some sort of past life history or whatever. There are different kind of soulmates. There are, like, your family is a soulmate. Your friends are soulmates. There's high level soulmate, which feels like a match to you, but not quite. Like with twin flame, they're karmic soulmates. Actually just a soulmate teaching you karmic lessons. You're both teaching each other lessons and things like those. And your twin flame, but there's a huge difference with your twin flame. Huge difference. Your twin flame is not just that, a soulmate of yours. Okay. And your twin flame takes you on a much higher level in your ascension than anyone else classified as soulmate, and will, I want to say, push you through yourself. Okay, of getting to know yourself, of uh, yourself overall. All right, so that's my answer for that. Although I say yes, I do like to view them as different, though, um, just because of what this connection entails and how very different it is. But yeah, that's my response. You're probably like, okay, you just confused me. And so the answer is yes, but you can't treat your twin flame the same way like you will with a soulmate connection. You just really can't. And the reason is because why is that? The reason, soulmate connections can be okay with fear-based energies. There's that super strong pull towards each other, or you can't stand them, or whatever the case. But with your twin flame, not the same thing. Definitely not. All right, so I do want to cover some of the other things. Of course, there is balancing your energy, being of balance. And you're like, what if I'm not in balance all the time? Like I said, you got blocks being released, whatever it is. If it happens from time to time, ultimately, when you are healing the imbalance and so forth, you tend to stay in balance longer. um, more often, be more in this space than being in, let's say, like an anxious, being anxious, or being like, you truly can heal from this. Take the moment and heal, and then you'll feel more in balance than ever before. And it's a process. I'm not going to say it's, you know, okay, it's a simple process. To come into balance is a simple process. To stay in balance, this is my feel on it, and you might hear from anywhere else, you don't need it. You heal the imbalance within you. Okay? And that has a greater, long lasting effect than just simply telling yourself, "Whew, I'm in balance." And that's it. Okay? There's absolutely no fear, no ego. There's nothing going on inside of me. I'm just in balance. Sure, you can be until the ego tries to show itself. So definitely work on healing what the ego is showing you so you're able to stay in balance a whole lot more. And that balance is necessary because the energy in this connection is very strong. And so if you're really worried about it, you're really anxious about it, or anxious to the point you got to have it, or anxious to the point you don't want to have it, either way, anxiety is there. Your twin feels it and shows it, and they appear to be anxious, and you're going to look at it and be like, why are they that way? Well, your energy, that's your energy. And so you bring it into balance, and the connection feels a whole lot easier to be around, a whole lot easier. Okay. And then there's your triggers. If you and your twin flame trigger each other a lot, you're going to be triggering each other. People trigger you. Let's take twin flame out of it. People trigger you. What are you doing about your triggers? How do you handle your triggers so that you're not reactive when they happen? Because it's normal to feel triggered. Okay? We can't remove the normalcy out of us and say it just doesn't exist when it does. How are you going to be when you are triggered? So that way you're able to build a healthy connection instead. Because when we're not prepared for those triggered moments and they happen, the stories begin. The beliefs. I'm trying to move away from calling them stories. The beliefs begin. This story, this, whatever is happening there. We throw these words that we don't mean. It hurts the connection. Eventually you're apart from each other. Even if your connection is able to sustain it, eventually it's not going to. And that's not twin flame, that's with anything. So how are you handling your triggers so that you're building connection instead of breaking it down? Very, very important right there. And you're like, well, how is this possible? Yes, it is. It's very possible. Okay. I strongly recommend you seek healing. I know a lot of you are maybe trying it on your own. I get it. I get it. But when there are things that, and I speak it from experience, because as you know, I had to hire someone for myself because I wanted to see it. Sometimes we see things for others, but we can't see it with ourselves. Okay. And this is why it helps to have someone that can assist you with seeing it, whatever it is that you need to see. And I mentioned during my sessions, we just have a conversation. Where would you like to begin? What do you want to talk about today? What is heavy on your heart today? Let's uncover this and connect to the root, because it's going to come up just in conversation. The sessions are typically intuitive led, and whatever comes up in the discussion is meant to be that topic that day. It came up for a reason. And just by that, talking about it, healing it, a shift begins to happen inside of you. Your reality begins to shift outside and that kind of stuff, just by having a conversation. Nothing planned. Okay? It's not planned. Somehow it goes along with the whole program. The whole program comes into form and stuff like that. And it's it's like you may not hear it. Okay? And I'm not saying this to be like you're just not going to get it. I'm not a believer in that. You certainly can, but it helps to have that accountability, I want to call it, to help you see it. Okay, really recommend that. I didn't put the link below, but after today, my prices are going up with my one-on-one coaching sessions. And someone on Facebook put this angry emoji, and I'm like, okay, all right, you can be angry, you can be angry. I've been called for this. Okay, everything I do is intuitive based. My guys are like, Asheen, increase, increase, increase. I'm like, okay, okay, okay. I want to go about my day. All right, so let me post that. All right, intuitively led. They're taking me on a journey somewhere after the years of my experience into something. And this is the reason why. Not because I don't love you guys. I love you guys. They're talking to me. All right. So tonight is the last that these offers are going to be available. They are changing today. I'm going to put the link down below. And I am having a masterclass coming up on the 28th of this month. And it's nope, Experience Inner Union and Heal Separation is a masterclass. I did put that link below. All right, so you definitely don't want to miss this masterclass. Even my students join in that kind of stuff because I'm just a believer that knowledge is power. You might be like, twin flame knowledge is power. Well, a lot of what I teach, I focus more on you, a whole lot more on you, because that's where it matters a lot. And your twin flame just simply mirrors the changes that happen inside of yourself. And I offer you an understanding of the connection. I'm not going to say go call your twin flame and profess your love. It's not about that. It's definitely not about that. It's a journey about you. Okay, so you truly don't want to miss this masterclass. And I believe I covered quite a bit. Oh, we have some more questions. I love that. Hold on a second. So what happens if you walk away? Oh, I love your question. What happens if you walk away? I'm going to take twin flame out of this because you're like, all right, let me drink some of my water. My throat is thirsty. I am a person who walked away lots of times. Okay. You're like, Asheen, why on earth would you walk away a lot? Like, the greatest love, right? The big love. Like, why would you do that? The universe is telling you all this kind of stuff. We're on the other end and we're actually angry. Maybe it upsets you to hear that. But I was, because I couldn't see what my intuition was telling me. Couldn't see it. Had a whole lot of fear-based energy. I don't think that, I just couldn't believe it. Intuition is telling me one thing, I'm seeing something else in the physical. It doesn't match up. Mm-mm. I don't know how to believe my intuition. It's too scary to go up to someone and be like, hey, this has been happening. Okay. And thinking I'm making all of this stuff up in my head. All right. So those were the reasons. And being terrified of love, relationships, many of you might have it and you don't realize that you do, especially if you have doubt, fear, um, insecurities, and all this kind of stuff. It is not your fault. And so it makes the connection seem hard to achieve because of all of this. And so I was just like, universe, just leave me alone. It's a whole lot easier than to believe something I can't see. And so here's what I can tell you about walking away. Okay. You believe you're walking away from your twin flame. You're like, I'm leaving this person. I'm done with it. Right. This, you're walking away from this person. You're walking away from the connection. you're actually walking away from yourself. Okay. You're like, whoa, you're walking away from yourself, not that person. And all right, why is that? There, again, this applies to the people who know who they are. It may not for everyone, because not everyone is meant to come together with their twin flame. I wonder if that's my cat. I'm hearing a noise. And the reason I say that is because not everyone is interested in twin flames, right? You guys are here, you're interested, you want to learn about it, you met your twin flame, you are on that path. You're on the spiritual path. Not everybody is. And so, like I said, path. There is a path. A predetermined path, whether you agree to this before incarnation, or I want to say you agree to this before incarnation, okay? And the universe is just there to support it. They're like, you know what? We haven't forgotten. You came here on this planet and you forgot. We didn't. So we're gonna make sure to make all this stuff happen. The signs, synchronicities, dreams, messages, all this kind of stuff. The dreams of your twin flame, hearing their voices, their higher self, you name it, running into them. We're gonna make sure all this happens so you are on that path. Because with that path comes abundance, comes everything you've ever dreamed of, everything your soul came here for. Whatever you feel deep down within yourself is along that path. And we're going to keep you there. Your ego comes in and says, I don't think so. Okay? I don't believe in all of this. I can't see it. I don't. It's them. I don't want them. And tries to move away. And so when you're moving away from that, you're moving off your path. And what happens when you're out of alignment with your soul's inner knowing? Your soul's telling you stuff. Your soul's like, listen, this is the journey. This is how it is. And you're just like, I don't think so. I will choose something else. Okay. And so you do that. What happens? You feel out of alignment. You get this worried, anxious, whatever that comes with being out of alignment. Things don't seem to piece together, something, whatever that means to you. Like, I can't make that up. Whatever that means to you when you step out of alignment. I'm going to do my own thing, right? And then you decide to come back into alignment. Okay, let me choose a path. Let me get on a path. Let me listen to my intuition and follow what my soul is telling me. And then things start to appear for you. Your dreams start to become more and more true. You're like, wait a second. So I've got to choose my twin flame for my dreams to come true. I didn't say that. Okay. If you're saying that, I did not say that. I said you chose your path. It's a path. We got to get away from it's this person who we're physically looking at. We're talking about your path. And this particular person is meant to be a part of your path as well, a part of your spiritual growth. This person mirrors you in so many ways that triggers, I want to say trigger, but not trigger as in, I feel triggered, your awakening, your ascension. That's what this person is here for, is here to do. And we're like, you know what? I'm going to walk away from all of that, the ascension, when we say I'm going to walk away. Now you're like, what if I really, really, really just want to walk away? If this is where you are, if this is really where you really are, that's where you are. Okay. I was there. I was able to, took off, had my own life. He was in the back of my mind somewhere there and that kind of stuff until certain situation happened. And I was just like, wait a second, why am I hurt? I was there until the universe said, that's enough. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No more of that, Isheen. Get on your path. Okay? So I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. When you feel it intuitively, and you know it intuitively, and you sense that there is something with this connection. There's something bigger. This is what I came to realize. This was my breaking moment when I was like, all right, let me listen to the universe. I started to realize that there is something greater here that's bigger than me and him. There's something bigger than you and your twin. And your ego is the only thing that gets in the way, the only thing in that kind of stuff. Okay. And so that's my response for that. If that's what you truly feel and you know, you're like, I can do this. Okay. If you feel like you're gonna get sucked back in, universe will come knocking at your door. You're just like, all right, I'm ready, I'm done, I'm forget about this, right? And then literally the next day, the universe is like, "Boop, boop, 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 boop. Open up." You're like, I don't want to. Boop, 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 boop. I'm creating a scenario. These are the things I hear. It's like boom, boom, boom. What are you doing? And you're like, I was walking away. Like, what do you mean? And that kind of stuff. Like, I can't make this stuff up. If it hasn't happened to you, that's fine. Certainly happened to me. Certainly happened to a lot of people I've worked with, and ultimately they wind up saying, and this could be you too, I can't seem to really walk away. I want to know what to do next. What are my next steps? I want to learn about this connection. I want to figure this out, because every time I have tried to walk away, it just doesn't seem so. So again, it may not be you. I truly get it. If this is you, I recommend healing instead. Okay. And then letting everything else unfold, understanding why certain things had happened in your connection, because there are reasons why certain things had happened that seems like it's your twin flame, but it's something within you. Your twin flame is mirroring it. Yes, their experience is real, your experience is real, but you are a mirror for each other. Okay, so that's what I had to say there. I've healed and shifted tremendously. That's amazing. And do they show my subconscious? It's so weird, but I understand it. I would say you share subconscious thoughts. So it's more like a shared thing than that they are showing. Sometimes you might catch me say that they are your subconscious, they show you your subconscious, but it really is more of a shared subconscious. And so you literally can shift what's happening in your connection when you shift what's going on subconsciously, because you share whatever pattern, core wound, anything that is there in your subconscious mind. So kind of does remind me of Neo and Trinity in the Matrix, at least my connection. Okay, okay. And all right, for the sake, I don't know if kids are hearing. Does the sexual energy get crazy closer to union or reunion? Does it ever change? Honestly, I don't believe so. I did a video on this. I call it the third energy. Okay. The third energy in the connection. And I truly feel it affects the divine masculine a whole lot more than the feminines. But this is like sacred energy. This is God's love. This is energy that pulls the connection together, that brings you, I want to say reunion, because you're always in union, brings you into reunion and literally drives this connection. Okay. It's not your imagination. Some of you might be like, it comes up randomly. I'm not thinking about it. It just seems to happen and that kind of stuff. Maybe you ask your twin about it if you get a chance and they seem kind of embarrassed or like, oh my God, you felt that too. And things like that. This is, those who aren't couples yet and that kind of stuff. I truly believe there is a third energy in this connection that does its own thing. Okay. And you might consider it your energy. It's all your energy. However you look at it, there is that energy there. Yes, I'm in that state is draining. I truly recommend healing. Okay. Um, why? Because it's harder, or it feels that way. Maybe it's not to you, take what resonates with you, everybody. When it feels like you're doing this alone, you're going through the experience alone. Okay. And especially when other people around you don't understand. You feel that way, you don't have to do this alone. Okay. I used to watch tarot readings for divine masculine and feminine when I was with my 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐞 twin, and the karmic situation when I was with my 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐞 twin. Okay. And karmic situation. Now I don't watch any of these videos, and my twin, we don't have a karmic. Okay. 𝐏𝐫𝐞𝐞 twin. I'm not a believer. I'll be honest. I believe there's just a twin, but I truly get it. If I'm not sure if this is the same person as your actual twin, and so on. I do believe in a catalyst soulmate, that contributes to your growth and so forth. But then you have your twin, who shares a soul with you, if you want to call it divine blueprint, and all this. This makes a lot of sense. Thank you for the response. All right. You're welcome. And on another note, I haven't spoken to my twin, or they haven't spoken to me in almost a year, but I'm going on vacation. Oh, wait, is this backing up? Oh, no, this just backed up. Okay. Uh, I walked away too. I blocked him for 2 years. All right. And I wonder why. I'm curious to know why. Yep, I couldn't even do anything, and universe wouldn't leave me alone until I unblocked him. Oh my God. I laugh because I went through that too. I was like, I want to hear your reason, Crystal. If you're still here, please comment your reason. No judgment. And guys, do not judge. Okay. I want to say I went through that moment myself. I share it with you guys. I went through crazy moments. I was not an easy person. Like I said, my guys were like, ''Gh'Sheen." I'd be like, "Go away." And then the next day they're just like, "Are you ready to continue?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Let's do this." All right. Um, Only because the universe kept talking to me a lot. Okay. A lot. Telling me so many things about the future, about the connection, about just everything that I couldn't see at that time. All right. And just really trying to guide me. And I had a lot of resistance, guys. And so I was just like, I want a normal life. I don't know what's happened there. I hope I haven't been lagging. All right. So I was like, I just want a normal life. Make it go away. So I was like, all right, if I block him, it's gonna go away. Obviously, it's not. But the ego was like, just do it. And then in that instant, the universe was like, what are you doing? Right now. And just like you wouldn't leave me alone. I was like, all right, never mind. And never really had the chance to do that, really, because of what because the universe was just like, you're giving the wrong impression. Don't do that. All right. He started pushing me away and started pointing out all my stuff in me. He threatened to block me, so it scared me. And I was like, nope, I'm done in blocking him. Oh, I'm sorry for that experience there. Um, I'd like to hear more. Threatened to block me. So it's scary, but why? Hmm. What was happening there? And like I said, no judging. Um, I'm not going to paint a picture. I'd rather hear more. Okay. One of the reasons, this is what's coming to me, this may or may not be you. I've just shared this. All right. I'm just sharing this information. Is when I had a lot to heal in me. Okay. Maybe I'll leave it like that. I'll leave it like that. Okay. Some of you are like, okay, she share it, share it, share it. I'll use me as an example. Okay. I'll use me in my experiences. I've been through a lot. Okay. I should say we have. We certainly have. Myself and my twin. Been through a lot. And like I mentioned, when I close my eyes, it's a heaviness I'm feeling. Okay. It's a heaviness of wanting the connection so much. just really wanting to have that connection. And at the same time, being afraid of it too, not to the point where you hear like divine masculine is just terrified of how strong they really feel, but more like, I really want to have this connection. I'm afraid they don't want me. You know, I'm afraid of ruining this connection. I'm afraid of doing the wrong thing, you know? Oh no, it's fine. I want to share it. I want to share it because this is what I see. These are the patterns I see. So I want to help people understand this because I've uh it is that I want to call it you all might call it push energy, right? Constantly thinking about the person, obsessing on them and all this kind of stuff. I call it the pull. The words are interchangeable. It's more like you feel so pulled to this person that you just want this connection. You're feeling really pulled. You know, let's look at it from a different perspective. Rather than calling it you're pushing this push energy, you felt really pulled to them in the strongest way. And you're just like, I'm curious, I'm interested, I want, you know, there is that energy of, I really want this connection. And the person on the other hand is like, what is this? And they're like, you know, can you stop? Whether they say it or they don't. You know, I really do appreciate the twin flame who does say it. Like, this energy is too much for me. You know, they're letting you know the energy is too much. Okay. Not everyone has that, you know. Many of us have the one that becomes withdrawn, appearing to be distant, not responding to the text message and calls because the energy just feels like too much. It's like a blowhorn, right? I'm not saying it's your situation. I'm just sharing why that would happen where a twin is like, I just want to block this. Okay. And it feels uncontrollable. That pull towards them feels like something uncontrollable. And sometimes you don't know why it's there and why, you know, this is like before awareness of it all and being able to balance and all this kind of stuff. When you're unaware of what's happening and you're just like, I just feel really drawn to this person. And if this person, I've seen it so many times, okay, is like, please, it's too much for me. Please back away. Or just appearing to be distant, just being distant alone is evidence. Pull it back. Okay. Pull it back. But at the time, the connection feels really strong. And so this person begins to feel like, I'm being serious right now. Can you please? Okay. And that can lead to that. I'm just sharing these things that I have seen along this journey. Okay. And I just had to share that one. All right. So I say it because I want to help all of you see how a lot of things you go through on this journey is so normal in a way that and you start, sometimes we judge ourselves for it and we're like, you know, I'm not supposed to feel this way or I'm being bad for being. Mm-mm. It's just showing you, it's just demonstrating healing. It's all it's doing. Okay. It's all these experiences are doing so that you are moving into the most authentic version of yourself. All right. And my twin flame cut me off. I recently got a reading to understand what was going on. We're still in separation, but we communicate telepathically. My higher self said we're about to meet. Oh, no, no, don't shrug your shoulder. You're about to meet, okay? I totally get it. You're like, I don't know. And believe it. Believe it. All right. Well, I thank everyone for coming on board tonight and for all your comments. I'm going to hop off. Thanks again. Bye.